Hi, you guys. Happy Sunday. I have a reading that I'm doing for you guys for Sunday. I can't wait to get my hands on the card and do this reading because it's going to be super juicy. It has everything to do with Georgia, Brian Kemp, and Mitch, and Donald. Basically what's been happening since the eclipse on Monday, that all of the energies and stories that were gaining traction regarding money and taxes and money overseas and agreements and contracts and money. Did I say money? Other people's money and government and the law? This eclipse energy has been gaining traction on all these things. We hit a tipping point. And that when the moon went over the midheaven, the top of this chart in Washington, D.C. from the eclipse, everything was just going to spill over. So today, Saturday, is that day of all of this energy and information spilling over. Crowning the skies of Washington, D.C. Everyone knows something's up with the POTUS. Something isn't right. So I finally checked the news to see what was going on, and it was just one thing after another after another. I can't even keep up with it, but the thing that I really want to know about now, because I do want to read on the Georgia election. However, there is a clue as to what's going on. I know I've been seeing a lot this week about Republicans telling the GOP voters not to vote. So there's been a lot of confusion around the story about should people in Georgia be voting or not for this election? Because if they don't and aren't confident in it, the Democrats can easily win. And it's made me so nervous because I'm like, no, Democrats, don't let them psych you out into a false sense of security that this is a sure thing for Ossoff and Reverend Warnock. Because the languaging and the messaging are always to mess with people's heads. And more than anything, Russia and our hostile enemies, Donald's friends, want to delegitimize democracy, as does Donald. So I just felt like this was more like a mind game until today. Today, when I saw that, yes, he went to Georgia to have his big rally, there were no masks. Kelly Loeffler and Dave Perdue didn't even get to speak for 2 minutes. She looked terrified of him. Perdue, when he was talking, like his back was to the camera and his back was to Donald. The nonverbal language going on during this thing, it just made them look like they were really afraid of Donald. And then I saw this stuff about Governor Kemp and how angry Donald is. There was in the video, he said, in Georgia, we won. They cheated. Your governor could stop it very easily if he knew what the hell he was doing. Your Secretary of State and governor are afraid of Stacey Abrams. He was so hostile and nasty that even one of Brian Kemp's allies took to Twitter to tweet out at Donald, don't mess with him, basically. And the tweets, Donald going after Kemp and Kemp tweeting back, we want confidence in our elections. So there's something bigger brewing here. And so my original question was going to be, because you guys know I like Eric Garland on Twitter, he's really good, but this is the question he posed, and this is where this all started. His question was, is Donald intentionally trying to destroy the GOP chances in the Senate to get back at Mitch for failing to cheat enough so he could win and avoid prosecution? Let me read that question again. Is Donald intentionally trying to destroy the GOP chances in the Senate to get back at Mitch for failing to cheat enough so he could win to avoid prosecution? That's the question we'll restart at. Keep in mind, Georgia has extensive gerrymandering purges voters by the hundreds of thousands. They have shut down thousands of voting locations, and they've had the mail sabotage. And even with all of that, it was not enough for Donald to win Georgia. So if Donald is out and he lost Georgia, do you really think he wants to let Mitch and all of them enjoy the power of the Senate by being in the majority? Do you really think Donald is that loyal to the Republican Party after he leaves? He was never a Republican. That's the question that's posed. And ever since I saw that question, I thought about it. I can feel my blood heating up, anger. The amount of anger that Donald has right now is incredible. And so what I decided to do, I will tell you about this teroscope. I'm going to explain stuff about Brian Kemp, and we're going to throw cards. So when I threw this teroscope, I took the full moon horoscope, and I take tarot cards and I lay them out. And then I also lay out astrology cards so we can understand the relationships of all these cards. This particular deck is the deck that's been telling me stories. It has been such a trooper. So many things started changing in a month or two before the election. I had to start writing things down on my cards. So that's why they're beat up. This is the most beat up deck you'll see on the YouTube. But so this teroscope is simply the Georgia rally today. That's all this was. And I was trying to just keep my energies within a Georgia rally, but I kept feeling surges of pissed offness from Donald. So the two cards, though, that fell out while I was shuffling and getting them ready, we have the Page of Cups and the Three of Cups, both reversed. The Page of Cups is not good news. We have Tantrum Boy. The Three of Cups reverse is the election that he lost. This is what not only fell out, like shot out. So the Georgia rally is about him being angry about the election. In the first house of self, who I am, Donald sees an opportunity. This rally has an opportunity. And you know what? This is supposed to be the Georgia rally, but it's him. His energies just were so dominating over this is his rally. He put it out there, so this is his rally. Part of fortune, timing, making favor for oneself. In the astrology told us to go here. The Hermit card at the full moon eclipse said investigation, investigating, opportunity. So the astrology said go to the 8th house of beginnings of endings, which is over here. We have the 12th house escape, wanting to escape. The 7 swords reverse, usually that's stealing something, but this, beginnings and endings, is about forfeiture. Forfeiture. He has to forfeit this election. But he's going to lever some, opportunity if he can. And then the astrology said go over here to the secrets and hidden enemies. So the secret, taking an opportunity, even though he has to forfeit, is I'm going to be the Page of Swords. I'm going to be out of control. I'm going to attack because the hidden enemy is Biden, the new president-elect. The Star card has most of the time been the office of the President of the United States for me. So with this Georgia rally, he wants to take some opportunity because in this area of income gains and values, no votes. He has no vote. There are no votes. These are the assets. No votes. Do you see what that's saying? It's going to a rally and wanting your person to win. You want the Queen of Pentacles because those are votes. No votes. That's where his value is. 3rd house communications, outrage, pissed off. There's a duality here. that he's going to try to leverage in one way, but because of this, there's mixed messages going on. The fourth house of defense. This is the past. He is pissed off. He is not going to let this go. This is also the Republican Party. The Republican Party did not defend him. Do you understand that if there's an election in Georgia, and let's say the Republican Party wins those 2 Senate seats, do you know what a massive slap in the face that is to Donald? That with all the rigging of elections that they have, Mitch and others could not rig them enough to let him win Georgia. But in the runoff, if the Republicans come out to vote for Loeffler and Perdue, and Donald leaves, that's crushing. So this is from the past. The Republican Party did not defend him. They had an agreement, and they didn't. And he's going to work this. He's going to work this. Because in the 5th house with the Georgia rally, he is heartbroken. Usually this is like a treason card. No, he is hurting badly. The 6th house of public servants, bias. It was unjust that they did that to him. So he's going to prejudice and bias against them. The 7th house, this area is like your partner or your open adversary. Usually this is, like the Trump dynasty. But in this particular chart, I feel like Donald sees this as an open adversary and that this is 2 things. One, the Democrats who won. And they got their party together to produce the votes and produce the outcomes. Also, him is an outsider kind of to this Republican Party now because he's out. He's out. He has to leave in January. A lot of these guys won their seats. They're going to continue without him. 8th house, shared resources, forfeiture. If he's going to have pain, everybody is. This area that has to do with your philosophy and his philosophy, the law and judgments, he is going out there to fight. To fight. Because what's crowning him with this particular rally, judgment, Donald was judged not to win Georgia. He has not forgotten that. And so there is a lot of pain here. So kind of what you did to me, I'm going to come out with guns blazing and do it to you. Because the dream, the hope, the wish was the White House. And now he's not going to have the White House. Someone else takes the White House. Do you think he is going to let them all go on their merry way? I don't think so. So one other thing that I did with this full moon eclipse, you guys, the part of deception in this chart against men and women is very, very active. In fact, the deception shows up here in this area of secrets. And the deception is opposing Mars, who's supposed to fight for and energize public servants. Nope, Donald is about the deception.